Hello, hello. Since we know how to track the successful login and registering scenario, we just now need to go to the next screen. We're going back to Xcode. I'm going now to main storyboard, and we will now work with a new object for us, which will be tab bar controller. That's the one, tab bar controller. So we'll just simply left mouse click and drag it just right over here and release this. Okay, very good. And these are the view controllers which are stored with the tab bar controller. And you know very well what is the tab bar controller. This is when there is a menu bar at the bottom. You're clicking on the button, you can be directed to the different screens. So I'll remove just this screen, and what we want to do is we want just to be thrown to the home page, which will be our home page. So in order to distinguish this, select this view controller, which is the one, go to the view, background color, let's select some color as a background color. So when we go to the when we reach our home view controller, so we will know that we are at home. Okay, let me select something like this. Yeah, excellent. Okay, so for the tab bar controller, there are different ways of going to another view controller. Way number one, which we already learned, this is when we're going modally. When we directly from the button, we're doing it in the main storyboard. And the way number two is when we're doing this programmatically. Okay, so we'll now write one function which will be a programmatic way of presenting certain view controllers. So what I think is, as we're going to use this function several times, I think the best idea is to declare this function in the helper. So instead of rewriting the function, we will be calling it from the helper class. Okay, so we're now going to the helper, and we will write our function. Okay, very good. So I'm gonna name it function instantiate view controller. So this is actually the protocol which allows to instantiate view controller. Let me show you. When you go to login, and here we write, let's say, self dot instant self dot so actually it's in little different way. So okay, so what we will do is we'll just write here instantiate view controller. Then in the round brackets we want to write identifier will be of type string. Then we want to declare animated, where we can say yes or no. It will be boolean. Then we want to instantiate it by which view controller. It will be instantiated by UI view controller. This is the one like we used in for our show alert function. By here we'll write VC, which means view controller. And one more property which we'll be declaring will be completion. I will explain that one as well. Colon, round brackets, open the round bracket, then again open and close round bracket, then space, dash, and a greater mark, and we'll write void. Then we are coming out from the round bracket, we are putting the question marks, and we're closing the round bracket, and then curly bracket. I'll just now explain you. This function allows us to go to another view controller programmatically. Okay, excellent. So you know what does mean instantiate view controller, because we have learned these all methods in my another course, which is a full Swift course from dummy to advanced. Okay, so nonetheless, I'll just quickly take you through this without explaining the animations which I was explaining in my another courses. Okay, here I will finish the function. I write here, we write here, let new view controller be equals to UI storyboard. Open the round bracket, select the function where is name and bundle. Name will be main, bundle will be nil. Then we will use the protocol instantiate view controller with identifier. This one, it has nothing to do with this function. Instead of, to make it look equal, exact, I'll just write with identifier rather than identifier. Okay, identifier here, we will be using the identifier which we are writing with identifier, or just let's keep it identifier here. Here we go, I just put it right here. Okay, this is with the instantiation, we're done. Then we want to present this. We'll write vc present view controller, which is a new view controller. Animated, we're using animated, and completion, we're using completion. I'll just now explain to this. Okay, first we'll start from this constant. We're creating the constant which is having the name new view controller. So what we're doing then, this new view controller is going to UI storyboard. You know, our storyboard is that one. This is our storyboard. It goes to the storyboard which has the name main. The name is here main tilde dot main. There is no any bundle, and it instantiate view controller with identifier. Instantiate view controller means it access and it stores a view controller which has identifier, any identifier which we will put here. So what does mean identifier? So when we go to my storyboard, here we will declare the identifier. Select your tab bar controller. We're going to the class inspector, and here storyboard ID will write tab bar. Okay, very good. So this is our identifier. Okay, if we write here, let's say tab bar, it will be storing under the new view controller a tab bar itself. And then what we're doing is view controller means current view controller, let it be login view controller, will present new view controller, which will be in our case tab bar view controller. Animated means we can select yes or no. Completion handler means if this function is finished execution, then here we can write, let's say print done, then it will give us an output where it will be saying that it is done successfully. So this is what does it mean. So completion, we don't want to keep any completion handler, and I will return our identifier. Okay, so here we are accessing any view controller from main storyboard via ID, and that one is presenting accessed view controller. This is what we're doing. Okay, we'll now call this function in our register and login. But why we're accessing storyboard tab bar rather than accessing directly this view controller? So if we will access directly this view controller without having any connection with the tab bar, so this is how our view controller will be presented. But when we access a tab bar, then automatically this will be shown. Tab bar is only a container, so this will be shown overlay. It will be overlaying the tab bar. Okay, you will see it yourself now. So we're now going to login view controller here. Instead of print logged, I'll write helper dot instantiate view controller. Identifier will be tab bar. Animated, yes, we want it to be animated, true. By current view controller. Completion, no, we don't want any completion handler. Go to tab bar. This is what we're doing. Very simple. The same function we can call in register view controller. Register VC. Instead of here printing out registered, we'll write helper dot instantiate view controller with identifier tab bar, animated, yes, we want it to be animated, true, and I want to present it by current view controller and no completion handler. Go to tab bar. This is what we're doing. Okay, let's now build and run and see how does it work in practice. Okay, I'll just now here write bob@mail.com 1 2 3 4 5 6, and very good. This is how we're going to our homepage. Excellent, guys. So I'll now build and rerun it so we can test our register or register function. Okay, so we can write here Kenny@mail.com, Kenny Bob, password 1 2 3 4 5 6, any birthday, continue, mail. Excellent. So it has been presented very, very, very good. And when we check our database, we got these users registered. So that's really outstanding result, guys. So this is how we are progressing step by step, and this is how we're using this smart and professional way of programming.